Good evening and welcome to another edition of Money Talk with Melanie. I am your business diva, Melanie Collette, coming to you live via SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Talk Radio today. Hi, Doug. Hi, Brian. Hi, Ken. Welcome. Happy Friday to you, TGIF and all that. I'm coming to you live via SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Talk Radio from beautiful Cape May County, New Jersey. And I say beautiful Cape May County, New Jersey, because Cape May County is, in fact, beautiful most of the time. Here lately it has not been, but today I can officially confirm that it is sunroof open, sunshiny, beautiful in Cape May, New Jersey today. So I am extraordinarily pleased about that state of affairs. Now, I'm waiting for my guest, who seems to be running a little bit late, who is Kadori Banks. She is a life coach, entrepreneur, author, radio talk show host, basically, businesswoman extraordinaire, and she's going to talk to us about the growing power of women in business. Hey, Lamarge, Chris, hi, you guys, Doug, Randall. You guys rock. Thank you for joining me. I have a gut instinct about these things, and I feel like I'm gonna miss Kadori. I could completely be wrong, but I feel like it's just a vibe I'm getting, but it's fine because I feel like we have like a lot to talk about. Yeah, Chris Gaines. Yeah, omnibus opposing. Hello, Northern. My great grandmother used to say, I'm so mad I could spit. That's how I feel about the that new bill. Dennis, hi. I'm so upset. Like I'm trying not to be super dramatic, but if I start on this tangent, dude, where do let's start with Congress that we own. $1.3 trillion. Republicans just passed a $1.3 trillion budget. Do they not remember? Yeah, Dennis, exactly. Do they not recall just before the election, the budget that they passed that we all hated and how much money they spent? Do they not remember any of that? Did they forget about that? It's part of how we ended up with Donald Trump as the president. Exactly. Hey, Darius. I'm Don. Hello, Michael. Hey. Oh, Michael, you're so sweet. I'm definitely not getting a favorite teacher award today. And for those of you in High Plains Pundit and SHR Media talk radio land, I'm talking to the people who are joining me in the Facey chat here. And Dennis says Paul Ryan needs to go. But then I won't be able to see his cute little face on like press conferences once a week. What about that? Do you have any concern about that at all, Dennis, for me? Hi, Tamara. No, like seriously. Chris says, how about New Jersey supporting young man's family here? I gotta get back to that. It ran too fast and I didn't get to see that last post. I apologize. Am I changing audience scene assignments? Yeah. Hi, Kiara, Ashanti. Kiara. No, I'm a woman today, just so you know, Kiara, not a female. Just kidding. Joke from a previous post. Hi, Chad Michael. Listen, I get endless videos out of him. Janelle, what a privilege to have Janelle here. Hi. She's a busy lady and a commentator in her own right. Hey, post the link to your blog, my dear. Love you to pieces. Mwah. But yeah, I'm like outraged about this bill. And for him to say, look, no, I didn't finish with Congress yet. I didn't finish ripping Congress. Why do we have no wall money? Can someone explain this to me? Why there's no wall money? I don't care. Hi, Frederick. Hi, Nicole. I don't care that it's only 6 months. Do they not recall the last bill that they passed before the election and how absolutely ticked off the last presidential I'm speaking of, and how absolutely ticked off Republicans were? Do they not recall that that's why out of 17 candidates, not one establishment Republican was picked? Did they forget that? They told us that they needed control of the White House. That was the big complaint. We need control of the White House. Well, we flipping gave you the White House, and you still managed to screw it up. Hi, Michael. I'm so glad you made it. We still managed to screw it up. I don't understand. Why do we have no wall money? More important than that, why is Planned Parenthood still funded? That's the thing that I am livid about. Why is Planned Parenthood still funded? Why do we not do anything about DACA? Well, I don't. Dennis said we need to resurrect the Tea Party. We do, but if we could do it without all the absolutely crazy people, that just like, as a brown person, Dennis, I can't tell by your icon whether or not you're brown, but like some of those folks, they're hard to defend. Can we do it without the like complete crazies, the Tea Party? I'm all about tax enough already. I'm cool with that, but we need to do it without the right-wing nuts. Chris Levels, hi, welcome. I'm trying not to use the P word, Chris, because, it's frowned upon. It's not ladylike, but that would accurately describe my level of unhappy. I'm so, and look, Doug, I understand that they oppose POTUS. Like, I got it, but he didn't have to sign it. I'm sorry. He could have vetoed it. And I'm really disappointed. Like, for real, like if I have to put up with him tweeting Joe Biden about who could be who in the schoolyard or whatever, then you could at least veto a bill. I'm sorry. Like, I honestly don't understand any of it. The midterms are going to be an absolute complete nightmare. I don't know about you guys, but that's my feeling. Like, I'm afraid for the midterms. Chris said people actually fell for the okie doke again. Who fell for it though? I don't think most of us, anybody. I was going through my social media today. I saw literally one post like in favor of that budget. One. Everybody else was like, what in the world? And that's what the real problem is. It's like these people in Washington operate in a vacuum. We're up against the break. I have a feeling my guest is going to be a no-show, which is weird because they're publicists, like we confirmed today. But anyway, we got a lot to talk about anyway. So even if we don't have a guest, we can chat. You're listening to Money Talk with Melanie. I'm your ticked off business team. And we'll be back on the other side of this message.
It's nowhere near Christmas time, but leftist university librarians are claiming that if you say Merry Christmas or Happy Resurrection Day, that is a form of aggression against Muslims. Hello, I'm Ron Edwards. On today's page from the Edwards Notebook, Sims College librarians in Massachusetts are on the warpath against Christianity and have decided that saying Happy Resurrection Day or Merry Christmas around Muslims is oppressive and Islamophobic. I find it rather disturbing that sovereign citizens born in the United States, a nation founded on Christian principles and not long ago still promoted Judeo-Christian ethics, now it's called oppression by simply wishing someone a Merry Christmas or Happy Resurrection Day. It is most unfortunate that those librarians and leftists in general get their underwear all knotted up over Merry Christmas or Happy Resurrection Day. But when it comes to the real abuses that Muslims wage against Christians all over the planet, they remain steadfastly silent and show little regard for the day-to-day whittling away of Christian virtues, which has opened the proverbial door to countless abuses against children, women, the unborn, Christians, and men in general. Wake up, America, and happy Resurrection Day. I'm Ron Edwards, sponsored by the Tri-County Liberty Coalition.
Ron Edwards, the new voice of America. Who likes paying taxes? Nobody. That's why Eva Rosenberg from TaxMama.com wants you to pay less of them. Read Small Business Taxes Made Easy and learn how legally hiring your spouse and children can slash your taxes. Learn how to set up a business plan that minimizes taxes, the benefits of setting up an exit plan, how to avoid getting audited, and how to legally increase your deductible expenses with better record-keeping techniques. Don't let the IRS squeeze you out of every penny. Visit TaxMama.com. Click on Ask a Tax Question to get free answers to your tax and business questions. That's TaxMama.com.
We're back. You're listening to Money Talk with Melanie. I'm your business diva, Melanie Collette. And you know, I was feeling like kind of awesome today, right? It was Friday. I had 2 snow days this week. And for teachers, that's like gold, okay? And and I changed some seats around in some classes, and I had like total silence, which is I'm one of those people who love silence. It's like it was like a pretty good day until I found out that President Trump signed his budget. First of all, yesterday the House passed it. I can't believe it even got through the Senate. I'm shocked. And then President Trump signed it, and then for like 2 seconds, he said that he wasn't going to sign it. He said he might veto it. And then he changed his mind or something. Now I have to tell you what's going on in the chat. I think we are all of us who are conservatives or Republicans or fall anywhere on the right side of the aisle are livid. And Chris Levels, thank you, darling. I appreciate that. I cannot hear that enough because I will tell you that my students do not tell me I'm awesome very often. Very often. But anywho, you know, one person in the chat, and I missed who said that, is that, you know, the military is the most important thing and that they were taken care of. And then Chris Levels is like, well, the military is only important to the elites. I don't know if I agree with you on that, Chris. I mean, we need defense. Nicole said, unless you vote Democrat, we are beyond voting. Right, and Doug says we would be smashed into oblivion without the military, and I tend to agree. Now I'm not even going to get into that because I'm just going to start a whole bunch of trouble. Unless I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to stay focused on what's in the budget. But I will tell you. Oh, Chris Baker said another young black man shot and killed by police. 21 bullets fired by 2 officers in his grandmother's backyard, and all he had was a cell phone. Yes, in Sacramento, California. I'm so sorry about that. And I don't know enough about the story to speak on it. I guess there's going to be an investigation and we need more details. I am one who is not really quick to suggest that something's racially motivated. And the reason why I suspect when somebody gets killed, and the reason why I say that is just in my mind logic. Like if you kill someone, there's a pretty good chance, even if you are not guilty, that you're going to lose your career as a police officer. So like to me, it just doesn't seem worth it. So I don't know. Chris Levels, who's attacking us? North Korea really wants to attack us quite very much badly. If no other reason, an EMP could take us out, and they have the capability of doing that. You know, I definitely agree with the theory that we need to be the biggest, baddest boys on the block for people to not mess with us. Like we cannot be the United States of America and who we are and not have a proper defense. We just can't. You know, an EMP, that's like an electronic something pulse. I forget exactly what it is, but basically what an EMP is, it can send a wave and disable all of our electronics. and they have the capability of doing that. And we don't really have a defense for that, except for the fact that we could go kick their behinds. I mean, that's just, China definitely it has world domination on their minds. They are a problem. ISIS is another serious problem. Then why haven't we spent money protecting our infrastructure from an EMP? That's a darn good question. And you're right, Chris, and we've known about it for decades. Thank you. Electromagnetic pulse. I couldn't think of it, Doug. Thank you. But yeah, I think that's a great question. And when we had Mike Fitzpatrick, who's our local cybersecurity expert, we've talked about that extensively. And I don't understand why our grid is not protected. 90%, I was actually listening to a report last night. If that were to happen, 90% of our population could die. Like, that's just ridiculous. It's scary. Oh, Chad Michael, busy taking care of illegals. Well, now, got a point there. Got a big point there. It's true. It's money and busy taking care of illegals. Absolutely. June Seed, hi. You caught a live one. Wonderful to have you here, and thank you for your support. Nicole says that's what they want, for us to not have a strong military. They want this country to be a sitting duck. I agree. I agree with that, Nicole. I do. I don't. Our military has shrunk considerably under President Obama, and I think a strong military is essential. Ron Edwards is in the chat. Hello and welcome. Good to see you, honey. Greg Wilson is here. Excellent. Excellent. Yes, Greg, that's what we're talking about. The $1.3 trillion omnibus grid upgrade will be less than $50 billion, and yet they couldn't fit that in. Exactly. But we had money for Planned Parenthood, right? That we were promised would get defunded. Hi, Dick Herschel. Welcome. We were promised. And Chris Levels, you have a good point. Our nation is being destroyed from the inside. That's true. But in my mind, that weakness is part of the whole package. Our military is way behind where it used to be. And that's not a good look. Not for the United States. Not when we got folks running around here trying to get nukes. And not when we have, President Xi over in China playing dictator in his own country. That's a serious problem. I think it's a serious problem. But I do agree, Chris, that we're destroying our nation from the inside out. We have definite issues. Unbelievable. 1.3 trillion. Like, I can't even grasp that. So is everybody putting, whose fault is this? You guys say Paul Ryan's fault? All on Paul Ryan? Because if it passed the Senate, then that means Mitch McConnell's got some accountability as well. We still spend more than 10 countries combined on military. Where's the money going? I had someone on my show and we talked about that, where that money was going. And there's a huge part. If you look at the budget, if you actually go and look at the defense budget, there's a large part that is discretionary, largely because it's top secret. Dick Herschel says, when am I going to declare myself chief diva for life, just like the Chinese president did? Well, I think that's up to the people. Dick Herschel. No, hi Silvio, and welcome. No, I'm supremely ticked off about this. And you guys in the chat, I want to know, do you think this is all Paul Ryan's fault, Mitch McConnell's fault, all of Congress? Do you put any of this on President Trump for actually signing the bill and not sending him back to the drawing board? Todd Kittner said, Tom, politics, academia, law, and media. That's what's wrong with this country. I don't disagree. And I'm an academic. I'm smack dab in the middle of academics. Yes, Doug. Schumer, Pelosi, Ryan, and McConnell. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. And Chris Level says we need presence in the Middle East while we ship the jihadists to Europe and into America. For the love of Pete. Hey, Celeste, did you remember after you called me that I was doing my show? I love you, girl. Welcome, Celeste Clavery, to the chat. That's my homie. I just saw that she called me, and I was like, she'll figure it out. She'll figure it out in a second. Greg says Ryan and McConnell primarily, but Trump was elected to put an end to this. He is the president, and he has veto power. That's my thing. I mean, to say I'm not going to sign another one? Really? For real? That just irks me. That just irks me. I just don't think that's I think we need a better explanation than this is the last time I'm going to sign it. And then he says no one read it. Are we Democrats all of a sudden? When did that happen that we sign bills that we don't read? And also, by the way, that means you didn't read it. So, and I'm not, don't y'all all jump down my throat. I'm not throwing President Trump under the bus, but I do need to point out that the businessman literally signed a law that he didn't read. I think that's, you know. I think that cannot go without saying. Ryan had a plan to override the veto with sufficient votes. Wow. Disgusted that Jeff Sessions still has a job as an agent. Well, here's the thing about that, Chris, and I hear you on that. Chris Level said that. The problem, totally asinine, Celeste. The problem with firing Jeff Sessions, in my opinion, is how do you get through the confirmation? Like whoever he picks to replace him, how do you get through the confirmation? And I'm gonna tell you what, if they mess up the midterms, we're done. What if we get another candidate like Lamb that they had in Pennsylvania? What if they get a few more of those? Chris Levels, he went to the Pelosi School of Literacy. Don't diss Paul like that. Or Jeff, whichever one you're. Jeff Sessions is good, being tough on illegals. True, I do like that, June. I do like that. And I really feel like Jeff Sessions is doing his best to follow the law and not politics. Like, I feel like I don't believe that he is like this wimp. Although I will tell you, I met him in person like 2 months ago, maybe a month ago at this event in DC, and he's really tiny. That's not a diss, it's just a fact. He is not a large man. But that's all I'm saying. Like we look each other dead in the eye. Is all that's all I'm saying. He does not look tough. I'm pretty sure I could take him. I'm joking. I love Jeff. But I'm really I'm at a loss for words because I'm so super angry. Yes, Greg, that is super small. Like he was surrounded by people when I met him, but like we legit looked each other like dead in the eye. Like I shook his hand and we were looking each other dead in the eye, and I'm 5'2". That's a problem. Just saying, it's an issue. So he's not intimidating by any stretch. The president didn't get the bill until 8 o'clock today. Come on, Doug. Are we going to let him off the hook because he didn't get the bill till 8 o'clock today? We know that DJT gets what he wants when he wants it. And I do agree that that's, I'm not suggesting that that's not ridiculous. Of course it's ridiculous. Would it be politics to indict the Clintons, McCabe, Rice, and McCain? Do they have enough to indict? The question is, do they have enough to indict, Chris? They have to have, and here's the only, I defer to the actual lawyers. Now, if there's like an actual lawyer in the chat that's like, we have plenty to indict, then I'll go with that. But my suspicion is if he is working on it, which I'm certain he is, I have confidence that he wants to make sure that we have enough to indict. And that we more than that, if you're gonna go that route, then you have more than enough to convict. If you don't have enough to convict, like, is the grand jury even gonna consider that? What the heck do you think is going on with Mueller? It is all politics. I agree with that. I think the Mueller investigation is not awesome. No, Chris, emails were not. Chris, I don't disagree with you, but they need actual evidence, and it takes a while to collect that. I would rather wait for them to collect all the evidence and have a rock solid, put them under the jail case, before they brought it before anybody, before they indicted anyone. And I will say this: listen. If you ever watched the show Scandal, and I know that this is real life, I understand that, but people who are deep into politics, I mean, I'm not deep into politics. I'm in, but not deep. But people who, higher level people, put it that way, that I know, tell me that show is pretty close, slightly exaggerated, but pretty close. And I also wonder what's going on behind the scenes. That Sessions has not indicted some people. You just don't know. You just don't know. So Sessions is taking his sweet time prosecuting the FBI. If he ever. Okay, now I will say this: why is that lawyer and that agent? Why do they still have jobs? And they should be prosecuted too. Ashton McCabe. My suspicion is that those people have stuff on everybody in Washington. Listen, in that level of politics, and I know people. Let's just put it like that. I know people. And at that level of politics, there are literal bodies buried. Like, no talk, not even exaggerating. No kidding around. Hi, Bill Crowther. There are literal bodies buried at that level. Like, it's very serious business, very dirty. And if we knew, we'd be disgusted if we knew all that the United States has to do. Some of it has to do. Some of it is personal stuff. Has to do to keep us safe and to keep us being a world power. Some of it's not awesome. I'm not, Chris Kane said, I know, Nicole, that's why I said I can't believe it, but that is what Paul Ryan has become. Well, here's the thing about Paul Ryan. He's married to a liberal. I'm throwing Paul Ryan's wife under the bus on this. You can't marry a liberal, dude. Because she was probably like, leave the illegals alone, or you're gonna get some couch time, buddy. I like your palm tree on your wall, and thank you for recognizing that that's a palm tree, Bill Crowther. I appreciate that. Nicole, you really don't think Sessions is gonna indict anyone? Ah, good grief! I hope that's not true. The Clintons have a body count, and it's huge. Absolutely, Todd. Absolutely, Seth Rich. The whole thing. Pillow Talk, her whole family. Yes, Doug. That's why you can't. Oh, what? Really? Like, Bill Crowther is a local. He's a local friend of mine, and we're on the same committee together locally. And he literally just took a shot at my ex-husband, which is actually pretty hilarious. I should have known better than marry him because he's a Cowboys fan, right? You're terrible. But anyway, but I don't understand how he's become so liberal other than, listen, you're sleeping with the enemy. The philosophical, political, spiritual enemy. You can't do that. People have come to me. People high up in the Republican Party have literally said to me, Melanie, why don't you just switch parties? You would be so much more successful. Your life would be so much easier if you just switch parties. If you became a Democrat and ran for election, you'd be good to go. And there's some truth to that. I've been offered at least twice to switch parties. But that's like switching gods, in my opinion. Exactly, Doug. It's hard enough if the mate is super conservative. Exactly. But my ex was a Cowboys fan, and that's a non-starter. That's true. It should be anyway. But yeah, but no, listen, I go to some liberal social events because, listen, they throw great parties. But I will tell you, I make it really clear up front with the minute I meet that I'm a card-carrying, hardcore conservative, and you have zero shot of any of this happening. Not going to happen because I can't do it. No, you can't. And listen, just from a lot of perspectives, leadership perspective, a whole lot of perspectives, you can't mate with a liberal. Is that terrible? Does that make me a horrible person? I'd better leave us. We miss. Yeah, somebody asked me actually if I wanted to run for Congress. Actually, like 2 months ago, and said, "Look, if you seriously want to run, let us know, because we can make it. We can do that. That's how these things work in politics. Powers that be, they vet people, they ask. That's how Yeah, it's the people, but you have to be interested in running, and the party kind of looks for people. And yeah, I was asked. I was asked to run for assembly. I'm asked. The only thing I'm running from is an axe murderer." I am done running for election. Oh no. I'm not running for anything in Middle Township. I'm done. I mean, I love my home and all of that good stuff, but I'm not running. No, I'm done in Middle. It'll be if I run for anything, it'll be state or federal level. But I don't see that happen. And you're right, Todd. You're unequally yoked. You are exactly unequally yoked. And who wants to be like arguing over dinner? About policy. And not for nothing, as a Christian, from a wife perspective, a female perspective, I can't have somebody who doesn't have the same values as I do. If you're going to take a leadership role in my life, you just can't. So that's not going to happen. Bill said I would vote for you. I love Bill Crowther, one of my biggest fans. Doug Potts, I think that Bill might be like in competition for like Mel, a biggest fan. And I appreciate you both. You guys are so awesome. June said a lot of conservatives that work in politics are in the closet. True. Latricia Jones got an article on Congress. I missed that post. I love Latricia Jones. She's 100% authentic. She doesn't play around. All right. Bill Crowther said he wins. All right. You and Doug are going to have to battle it out, Bill. Listen, you're listening to Money Talk with Melanie. I don't know what happened to my guest, but we seem to be having a good old time. I'm up against a break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Thank you guys for listening. You rock so entirely hard. Be back in a minute.
My name is David Barnett, and I've been helping people buy and sell small and medium-sized businesses since 2008. So far this year, I've gone on 5 vacations. It's because I've got my own business. When you get tired of being managed by someone else and you decide that business ownership is right for you without the risk of starting your own unproven enterprise, then come over to businessbuyeradvantage.com. There are over 100 YouTube videos on buying and selling businesses that you can watch for free. That's businessbuyeradvantage.com.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show. Also one of the here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcast. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
It's your business diva here, Melanie Collette. I am inviting you to a front row seat as I discuss some of the most intriguing details of wealth and finance with today's movers and shakers in the world of business. Listen in and discover financial truths on a global, domestic, and household scale. Uncover topics that will impact your wallet today and in the future. Money Talk with Melanie airs Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. East, 2 p.m. West, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Talk Radio. You can't afford to miss it.
Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch River Common Sense Show hosted by Jersey Joe right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hey guys, this is Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show. Check us out every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Pacific on the SHR Media Network.
And this is Sackhead Clint, is the best looking one of the bunch. It's my duty to remind you to check us out on our YouTube channel.
And don't forget to check us out on the SHR Media Facebook page. The best looking one? Really? You gonna go there?
Every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Pacific, right here on the SHR
Voters' Choice. I
Media.
have the award.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
This is Sam on SHR Media. You can listen to my new show starting on Tuesdays in January. Get my perspective on national politics, a conservative's perspective on California politics, the latest in the war on terror, all of that and a lot more here on Tuesdays at SHR Media. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Sam_SHR Media.
When dirty politicians, shadow governments, and deceptive Islam blind the world with fake stream media smoke, their only fear is one man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me through shrmedia.com, highplainstalkradio.com, and the Western Free Radio Network at Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes for a different perspective weekly on the Unpleasant Blind Guy. And catch me on Jeff Mitchell's EVL Radio on blogtalkradio.com. There's no surrender ever, because truth is not always pleasant.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics,
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
and all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events? All kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to Money Talk with Melanie. I'm your business diva, Melanie Collette, your TikTok business diva today. It is Friday afternoon, and I'm like mad. And I'm supposed to be relaxed, having some sangria at the winery or something. And instead I'm mad because we don't pass this foolish bill. June said Melanie should sell t-shirts and cups for her show too, to keep the show going. Okay, now you know what, June? Dick Herschel is going to be very upset because he suggested that to me like 6 months ago, and I did not do it yet because, like Dr. Heal Thyself, like the business, the business diva does not even have t-shirts or anything. I'm good. I have so much planned for the show when I get off of my quite ample behind. And start making some improvements to the show. And that is a great suggestion, June. And it actually has been suggested before, which means I probably should do that. I probably should get some t-shirts made. It's not even all that expensive. I do that. I got to get on it. But not to switch gears, because I love talking about the budget and like how mad I am about the budget. And we we need to put more pressure before I leave the budget as a topic. We need to put more pressure on Congress and President Trump to defund Planned Parenthood. That's important. And I'm tired of them kicking that can down the road. I'm over it. I'm done. I'm sick and tired of it. They need to defund it and stop playing around. $500 million. Come on. It's unacceptable that they funded that again for another 6 months. These are lives at stake. It's nothing to play with. Nothing to play with, and it's ridiculous. They promised us that they were going to stop doing that, and they're still doing it. It was the main reason that evangelicals got off their behinds and voted in 2016 when they stayed home with Romney. And it's still not, like it's 2018, it's still not defined. You kidding me? Completely unacceptable. There is no, I don't care if President Trump said, let everything else go as long as you defund Planned Parenthood. But he didn't. He just signed it. And all of those, into all of Congress is complicit, but especially Republicans. They promised. They said they would do it once we got the White House. Well, we have the White House. What is the problem? Get it done. I'm so completely over Planned Parenthood being funded. I would even be happy if they passed a law that separated the abortion portion from the women's health care portion that they claim to have. Make them separate their books. It can be done. Make them separate their books. It's a bookkeeping issue. If abortion really doesn't provide that much, then do the work and say, why can't we pass a bill that simply says that? Fine, you have to stop doing abortions, but America's not funding them anymore, and you need to make sure that your books reflect that there is a delineation between the other services you provide and abortions. Period. Ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. But to do nothing and to keep giving them money, you can have $500 million, but that $500 million is for you to get some CPAs on fixing that entire organization, because we're no longer going to pay for abortions. 3% of their business, my foot. I'm going to go with foot on that. That is the part that I'm like, I'm disgusted at the number for sure, because like we're Republicans and we're spending like drunken sailors. But the thing that I am most upset about is that Planned Parenthood. Thank you, June. And abortion should be private. Different nurse, completely separated. Put your money where your mouth is. You're getting $500 million. Do it or lose your funding. I'd be good with that. I'd be fine with that. We can still work on getting abortion abolished, of course. But I think that would do, leaps and bounds to make them prove it. They wouldn't be able to. Nicole said they keep Planned Parenthood around and rebranded it to serve its purpose, that it was founded on, period. Right. 85% of Planned Parenthood clinics are located in Black neighborhoods. Absolutely, it is, Nicole. And I've said this to many people who don't realize this. I live in Cape May County, as I mention all the time, and that's where the studio is. And I ask people when I talk about this issue, so do you notice that there's no Planned Parenthood in our neighborhood? Do you notice that? Because where I live is like 3% white. That's like 3% minority, sorry. We got about 3% minority and about 97% white where I live. That's why there's no Planned Parenthood here. But you go up the road to Atlantic City, darn near one on every corner. So don't tell me that this is, so all these people who talk about racism and people getting killed, and I'm not suggesting that the crime among blacks is not important, but the real crime is what's going on in those abortion clinics. They cut your Facebook feed as soon as I put down Planned Parenthood. Wow. Okay. Well, I always, because Chris Gaines, I'm glad you mentioned that, but because Facebook has deleted my videos before, generally as soon as I'm finished, I always start downloading them because they've taken them down before. So like I click download like as soon as I'm out. But are you serious? It's being frozen? Okay. Now I'm just getting mad because on my end it's working like perfectly fine. That does not make me happy. I saw the numbers go down. Like they went down really fast. Okay, good. Unbelievable. And actually that was the next thing I was going to bring up is the whole Facebook situation and the fact that we need to find so much is going on with Facebook, not only the selling of our personal information, but Facebook and Google are censoring us big time, and they're censoring conservatives, and it is not a good look. It's a very bad situation. Tucker Carlson has been on it for the last since he's been on the air, to be honest with you. Are you serious? Facebook shut me down? No way. Okay. Now I'm legitimately infuriated. That does not make me happy. We only have a couple more minutes. I'm gonna see if the feed actually died or not, because right now it still says that I'm live. It's still ticking away. So maybe they did it on another end. That is infuriating. You guys need to tell everybody that happened. That's ridiculous. And I sure as heck will. Broadcast interrupt. The broadcast is not interrupted. That's infuriating. That makes me mad, and a mad business diva is not a good thing for anyone. Ask my ex-husband that Bill Crowther mentioned. just saying. Twitter Live, Periscope, when Israel controlled it. Yes, those are all. I actually thought about Instagram, but Instagram is now Facebook, so that probably won't work. Twitter might, but Twitter is very pro-abortion too. I mean, they were the ones who took down Marsha Blackburn's ad about them selling baby parts. They were the ones that did that. They're ridiculous. Like, do we even live in America anymore? Why do we not have free speech? Why is that offensive to say, hey, I don't think selling baby parts is awesome. I don't think killing them and then selling their parts is awesome. Matter of fact, it's gruesome and evil. Is that a thing? That's a problem? That's an issue? Makes me so... What that Doug said, that's why. Doug, you're not on Twitter anymore? Oh my gosh. I didn't know you weren't on Twitter anymore. That's terrible. But if they actually did something with this video, like if I find out it's taken down, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm already mad at the budget, and I'm gonna be twice as mad. I'm gonna be twice as mad. Brought to you by Mark Zuckerberg, the man who started Facebook, as a way to rate the hotness of women. You say that as if that's like, I don't know, morally inappropriate. Chris, I think it kind of is. I mean, that's not, in his defense, he was in college. I mean, and boys do that. Not you boys, not any boys in my feed, I'm sure. But I've seen boys do it in notebooks and stuff. So he really just like made electronic what a lot of guys just write down in notebooks. I've worked in schools for so long. I've just seen this. I worked in an all-boys school for 14 years. I've seen it. They rate the hotness of girls. That makes them sexist little idiots because they're not grow men yet. But I digress. Okay, we're up against the close of the show. You're listening to Money Talk with Melanie. Those of you who are left, well, at least my SHR media has not been cut. The airwaves have not been cut, fortunately, because I am on a conservative station. I absolutely thank Sackhead Sean and Dan Butcher for giving me space on their airwaves to have Money Talk with Melanie. And I appreciate all of you guys in the chat, all of you guys who listen, everybody on Facebook. You guys absolutely rock. I don't have time to talk about it, Chris. I gotta go. It's the end of the show. Somebody else is gonna be after. Somebody else comes on after me. Have a fantastic weekend, and remember, all of this is very important because it's your money. Bye-bye.